On? It is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? I sincerely appreciate you joining me today at 10:30, special time today, on this beautiful Tuesday, May 20th. I love to practice gratitude in the morning. I love to be here on the show. I understand the responsibilities and the great privilege of covering the Alabama Crimson Tide, and I want you to know that I will never forget that. And I appreciate the small opportunities that we have here to break bread together, to talk some Alabama football. And I am coming off, an exciting moment. As a parent, this morning had the opportunity to see my little lady, Lacey, win not one but two awards. And it was last week that my son, Caden, who just finished up his sophomore year, he won two awards as well at school. So, look, at the end of the day, I'm really doing this for my kids, right? I love being here, and this is, such a great joy of mine to be able to be on this platform and to cover Alabama football. But at the end of the day, I'm doing it for Caden and Lacey. And being a girl dad and having my son, they're really the greatest joys of my life. And I know if you're a parent out there, making those award ceremonies is super important, right? Making those games, super important. Taking them to practice, super important. Making them dinners, being there for them emotionally, super important all the time. Not just occasionally, not just every other weekend, every single day. So if you're a parent out there, I know that you're in it and you're having an amazing time raising the kids. And look, it's not all sunshine. It's not designed to be. And when I think about it, when I think about my kids, and when I pray for wisdom and patience, right? Because as a parent, you need wisdom to guide them, and you need patience as you go through different things. So this morning at 9 a.m. Central Time here in Tuscaloosa, Lacey won a couple different awards, and last week it was Caden who won awards. And this is Caden. This is my big son. He's a sophomore at Northridge High School, or he just finished up his sophomore year, so he's going into his junior year. Plays inside linebacker, over 200 pounds at 16 years old. So he's a big boy, and I love them so much. So thank you so much for giving me some grace this morning regarding my 10 a.m. start time. Just pushed it back a little bit, so thank you so much, and I appreciate the well wishes. Today on the show, we're going to recap what we learned from Alabama's feature on SEC Network yesterday. It was titled All In. Who watched it? Raise their hand inside the comment box if you watched it. It came on at 6 p.m. Look, if there's Alabama football on, we're going to watch it. If it's in small doses, we're going to watch it. I like it because, look, I thought it was pretty good. It's only a one series. There's not going to be like a second edition or anything. And basically, to premise it, it was like these guys during spring football and the mentality of being all in, and how these guys have really bought into the program, and gives you a little bit more of an understanding of where these guys are coming off of spring ball. So, we'll talk about that, and I'll point out some things that stood out to me because, look, there was something that stood out to me, including one particular member of the staff that I think certainly needs a round of applause. And I think this particular staff member, I think that him staying at Alabama is huge. So, yeah, it was produced by Bama. And you know what? At the end, it said executive director. It said, like, Matt Self, Kalen DeBoer, a couple different other guys were on the back end. So, yeah, super awesome. So we'll talk about that. I know I was going to ask, is there anybody that can post some Alabama baseball updates for us inside the comment box? Because I know that Alabama baseball is playing right now in Missouri. So if someone wants to take lead and run the scoreboard over the next 40 minutes, I'd appreciate it. I think we're in the third inning, something like that. So who wants to be our scoreboard chief? I'd appreciate that. So taking place right now, this is a 40-win team. We should get behind the baseball team and softball team who will be taking on Oklahoma. Today's raffle, Venmo, Bama_YouTube, or Cash App Bama YouTube. This is a $5 entry, up to 3 tries. $5 entry, up to 5 tries for this hat that I think is fire. I missed this hat. This is on Athlete's Thread, and so give you some opportunities today to get in this raffle. In terms of shipping, if you have shipping questions, go ahead and email me. I don't ship stuff out like immediately, but I will get it to you. I know there's a couple people who have, want some gear, and you can email me at any point in time, and I'll send you the shipping information so when you can get your gear. And then I asked, too, if you have already received your gear, send me a picture of you in your gear, because I'd like a wall of all of our award winners. This Saturday, I will be going back to the Tuscaloosa Soup Kitchen to give back a little bit more of what we've been able to bring to the table for a good cause here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So I appreciate it. Bama_YouTube on Venmo, Cash App, Bama YouTube. And the raffle will go on this show and maybe even next show. So I'll keep you guys posted. Army 3275 has an announcement for us. Is that the Auburn still sucks? I love that. Nice play. But I do like this hat. Any type of the rope hats, and this has a little bit of the camo in it. And if you want the gear directly, just go to Athletes Thread, and you can search any of the gear that they have, which is pretty dope. So someone keep us posted inside the comment box. Do we already have a score for Alabama baseball? Okay, we got Max on it. We got Brock on it. Thank you so much. Missouri is up on Alabama 1-0, and we got the 4th inning. So, yeah, keep them coming as the updates come in. And, you got to win in the SEC baseball tournament, plain and simple. This is the particular staff member that I'd like to highlight. And I'll just jump right to it, okay? Robert Bradley, I got you in for the hat. David Belaloo is a grade A badass, all right? Can I get a thumbs up for David Belaloo? He is a strength coach here at Alabama. Can I please get a thumbs up for him? Dan Caraway, I got you as well. Thank you so much. ×2. So, David Belaloo, I think, 2 pillars that stayed after Coach Saban left. Jeff Allen is like the core of the nucleus. That guy is so, and you know what? Sometimes people are underrated or undervalued. Jeff Allen isn't. I think Alabama football fans understand that he is heart and the soul in terms of the Bama sports and science. Like, people love Jeff Allen. I've talked to Jeff Allen many times. He is such a wonderful person. Plus, he's on the cutting edge of the technology, right? But this man, David Belaloo, has been here. I think he's going into his 5th season. Yo, I'm telling you, if you don't know who this is, do some research. And when he came to Alabama, because remember, he was at the IMG Academy, and he was at Indiana, so there is some crossover between DeBoer and Belaloo, right? And this man stayed here, and the work that he's done, and look, he came after Scott Cochran, where there was a heavy standard, because we love Scott Cochran as well. There's no playing around. Look at this man. He's in the gym, and people respect him, and he is unbelievable in terms of, look, if you saw the Tide Rising, the guy in the locker room getting on these guys' ass and getting them to be fired up, getting them ready for battle, was this guy. So I'm sure if you missed the show, you can rewatch it on the SEC network at some point in time. I thought it was pretty good, but look, this man understands the process, and I think he's done a great job under Coach Kalen DeBoer, helping Coach Kalen DeBoer continue to lay those tracks going into this year. This guy is pivotal to the program. He's done an amazing job, and I just wanted to really highlight him because, hearing from him yesterday on the All In, you get that real quick that he's a tone setter, right? And obviously, look, the guy's still in the gym. Look at this dude's traps. Another man that I'd like to highlight is Courtney Morgan. Let me ask you this inside the comment box. And OC Dobbins, what's up? I'll do some shout-outs here in a minute, too. I missed the shout-out section. OC Dobbins coming to us from Los Angeles, man. Oh, man, I love Cali. I love L.A. That 310, I used to live out in Hermosa. Really, Redondo. It was Redondo and Hermosa. But another guy who used to live out in Cali is this man right here, Courtney Morgan. So let me ask you a question inside the comment box. Out of the recruiting that you've seen this team do so far, right? We only have, a little over a year? How would you grade Alabama's recruiting? Okay, look, how would you grade Alabama's recruiting on a scale of 1 to 10? Okay? John Shannon, what's up, man? I got you 2 entries for the hat, bro. Thanks, brother. And look, The rankings aren't over right now. Todd Timpson with the update with baseball, 1-1 is the score. I believe we're probably in the 5th. But if you step back and look at Alabama recruiting, look, Todd don't mess around. Todd is a guy, if things aren't good, Todd will tell you. I'm telling you. He's not a, all gassed up type guy. But see, look at the ratings in here. I'm serious. If you look at the quality of the guys that they brought in and the guys that are currently committed to Alabama right now, and look, Lingling 85 is right. Saban was a 10. DeBoer and the recruiting did not drop off at Alabama. It didn't. Salmon with the 9. Anita, 9-7. See, and the family in here, they don't mess around. Like, if something isn't good, they'll tell you. Larry Large, the 9. See? And the thing about it is, I think we learned what was Alabama, like a top 5 in 2025. But you can say the recruiting class is this or that. But when we saw the guys actually perform this spring, it showed us that those rankings translated to playmakers. There's an article right now on Bama 247 by Alex Scarborough, who's a wonderful writer. And he's highlighting Lazier Brooks. I didn't have enough time to kind of go through it. I just kind of skimmed it. But he speaks to Lazier Brooks' high school coach. Lazier Brooks, obviously one of the top freshmen this spring. And they kind of talk about the fact that he was only a 3-star and people like completely slept on him. Courtney Morgan said that with the ball in Lazier Brooks' hands, he's a nightmare. Even Bray Hubbard said that as well. So these guys out the gates recruiting have done one hell of a job. Okay? One hell of a job. This man, he's earned every nickel that they fed him. He's doing a fantastic job, 100%. Can I get a thumbs up for Tim Keenan inside the comment box, or just type 9-6? I'm low key. He's one of my favorite players. You know what? I haven't had a Starbucks in a long time. I went to Starbucks after the award because my daughter loves Starbucks. So I told her, you know what? I'll take you to Starbucks. Hey, Todd, is that Bama 2-1? Big Tim Keenan, okay? So they interviewed Tim Keenan last night on All In. Spoiler alert. And he's like, I feel like I left money on the table. Period. The great thing about him, it seems like he was a leader last year and he's a leader this year. It's important, and then I started thinking about this. Stay with me here, okay? I started thinking about kind of the leaders coming back for Alabama, and I was like, damn, most of these guys are from Alabama or around the Southeast, which I think continues to help with recruiting, but just overall brand. So stay with me here, okay? Look, who would you say 2 of the leaders are on defense? Tim Keenan, for sure. He's a vet. He's a leader, okay? Where's he out of? Birmingham, okay? Deontay Lawson, where's he out of? Right? He's out of L.A., okay? 2 guys from Bama. All right, Ryan Williams on the offensive side. Where's he out of? You see what I'm saying? Like some of the guys coming back, and I'm sure if we went through the roster, where I was talking about in-state guys, I think that's important to have, guys from the fabric of Alabama contributing on the team. And it really doesn't matter where these guys are from, but I think it certainly helps for fans to continue to support players that they saw in high school or that are just from Bama, right? So, Tim Keenan is that guy. And to hear his mindset yesterday that he's pretty much pissed off because of what happened last year, right? He's coming in with that mentality. And I think that's really spilling over to not only the defense, but the entire team, right? King Grizz in here was talking about Deontay Lawson, Tim Keenan, Quay Rusa, right? I'm hoping for a really big season for him. He needs that season. I've seen this man transform his body type from when he was at Ramsey to where he is now. I have seen, you know what? I promise you, I saw him chase down Jackson Dart. Him. So if you're out there and you think that you could outrun Tim Keenan, you can't. He'll catch you. He will catch you. All right. So Tim Keenan, fan favorite for sure. Ryan Williams putting in the work right here. What's one thing about Ryan Williams that you have noticed about him? I don't know, year over year. One thing to me, hey Chad, we started the show at 10:30. I had my daughter's award ceremony this morning. What's one thing that you have noticed about Ryan Williams year over year? I mean, really, he hasn't even been here a year because he got here in the summertime. Ryan Williams has put on some good weight. His arms look thicker. He looks thicker. King Rest says his maturity. You know what? He's a mature dude. Like, and I get it, the Hollywood and all this stuff. But I think like the core of that dude is he's super mature. He handles his success and his celebrity status very well. Good kid. But it seems like he's putting on some weight. That's why I don't even know what is going to happen in year 2 when Ryan Grubb and Ty Simpson get together and formulate how to get this guy the football as many times as possible. I don't know what's going to happen. What we saw last year was straight up incredible. And one of the things that Ryan Williams said about this year going in is he said that, and this has been said a million times, but he's like, people are locked in and people believe in Kalen DeBoer. See, Jimmy Williams, you said it exactly right. Yeah, he's been, linking up with David Belaloo. You know what? Stanley's right. He is a team guy. His individual stuff is always going to come because that's just where he's at. But you're right. Like, some people just have it, and I think he's able to display his individual side for the NIL. We don't see any of the family stuff, but it seems like he's a really good big brother. And I think, in terms of being a sophomore and a leader, sometimes you can get sophomoric, right? But I don't know. This guy seems like he has a really good head on his shoulders, which you got to be thankful for, and his parents have obviously done an amazing job with him. Spoiler alert. Okay, this is Bray Hubbard. Did anybody notice last night, and it showed it really fast, they didn't show a lot of practice footage, but they did show one clip. Let me turn the music down for this one. They showed one particular clip. Did anybody see this? And they gave Richard Young the football. It was practice. It looked like it was ones-on-ones. I don't know. You couldn't really see a lot. And Richard Young is kind of cutting to the right side of the tackle. And in came a missile. And look, Richard Young delivers hits. I saw Richard Young run over Jeremiah Alexander not once, but twice a couple years ago. Richard Young is not a small man. He's like 210 pounds. Maybe he might be bigger than that. It was kind of to the outside, and somebody came and lit him up. And it was Bray Hubbard. I'm going to say that pound for pound, and maybe the hardest hitter on the team is Bray Hubbard. Would you guys agree with that? I think he is. Even if you played the video game, somehow they got that in the game. Because if you play this video game, and I'm excited for the next version to come out, Bray Hubbard's a baller. I love the story about Bray Hubbard. He's a player, another player on the defensive side. I'm sure he's already a fan favorite, but you should get behind this man. The Tide That Rises, or The Tide That Binds by Fox Nation. I've said this before. They highlight him, and the young man lost his mom, and he went through a lot, right? I mean, these are still young guys. And he was able to turn it as much as he could into a positive and does every single thing for his mom. He's one hell of an athlete. He is he is such a crucial asset to this team. But man, I'm telling you, he smashed Richard Young. Can you imagine some of the collisions that we don't even see? Anyways, Bray Hubbard, just wanted to highlight him 100%. Wilkin Formby. You know, I think when you look to the Alabama offense, every single position we have to, like, we feel that I don't know if we like upgraded, but we feel confident about all the positions. This young man has the opportunity to really elevate Alabama's offense to another, in an even bigger level, right? The coaches have been behind him, and they've said that he has improved. He was on the struggle bus last year. Everybody knows that. There's no playing around. Everybody knows that Wilkin Formby was on the struggle bus. That happens. I mean, shoot, Caden Proctor, when you look at his first year, he had his games where he was up and down. Wilkin Formby struggled. He was not the number one tackle last year. Was Elijah Pritchett. Now, Pritchett left on in Nebraska, and you have really what could be a wonderful story with Wilkin Formby, who has a wonderful family from right here in Tuscaloosa, right? To be the guy and to really take this offensive line and really the offense to that next level. He's going to play such a pivotal role this year. And if he has improved on his game, Alabama's offense is going to be that much better. But he's certainly somebody that look, when we watch this first game, and Florida State will run a 3-3-5. They have a new defensive coordinator in there. We will all be watching Wilkin Formby. We will all be watching the right tackle. And if I really want to be honest with you, I do have questions about the quality of depth within the twos with Alabama's offensive line. Like, who's after Wilkin Formby? Who's after Caden Proctor? And I know we kind of have a couple guys like Olas Allen might be one of them. Geno Vandermark might be one of them. Probably is. Joseph Ionita. I didn't really hear anything about Rock Montgomery. But those are some of the guys in the twos. Michael Carroll, Jackson Lloyd. That's kind of my only thought process. Like, what does the twos look like? But if this young man can rise up and really have a breakthrough season, Alabama offense will be that much more potent. So, and I love to root for this guy. And you know what? I like Taco Casa. At first, when I first got here, I really wasn't feeling it. I'm not a big sweet tea guy. And somebody took me over there for their sweet tea. But you know what? Over the course, I guess, of the year, I actually like Taco Casa. So I'm a fan of it. I think it's good. I like their little nachos with the nacho sauce. And then their tacos, how they put the sauce on top. I'm here for it. So Taco Casa is good with me. I like Taco Casa. One more clip, and then I want to talk to you about a defensive photo that was circulated yesterday. Here's a quick shot of yesterday with the Alabama offense. And as you know what? Max says Taco Casa is an acquired test, 100%. But when you look to the Alabama offense, this was just a quick clip. And kind of going into what I was talking about with the offensive line, this is Jaden Roberts right here. He's coming back, which is huge, monumental. And Parker Brailsford, right? So these two men, along with on the other side, right, Wilkin Formby, Caden Proctor, and Cam Dewberry, who I would imagine will be the left guard, that's your offensive line. And here's a nice shot of QB number one, or at least at this point in time, in Ty Simpson. Love to see it. Looks good. I mean, this looks like a hell of a setup. Rocket Town's asking me if I like it better than Los Pollos Hermanos. So the thing is, that's a reference from Breaking Bad. So Los Pollos, right, the Chicken Brothers, it's actually the real restaurant in New Mexico, and in Breaking Bad, it's called Twisters. So Twisters, if you're from New Mexico out there, and I know people watch from all over the country, but Twisters is basically, that is the restaurant. And Twisters would be like going to like kind of like a Taco Casa, but it has like a wide variety of like breakfast burritos, and there's a ton of them, and the food there is unbelievable. All right, we got an update. It's 2-1 in the bottom of the fifth. Who's winning? Is Alabama winning? Max Tuning? Alabama baseball right now taking on Missouri. Scoreboard, we have a couple fans keeping track of the score inside the comment box. All right, we got the raffle today. Bama YouTube Cash App, Bama YouTube. And this is the hat we're rocking out with. It's a $5 entry today. get up to 3 entries, and this is the hat that we're spinning out. If you want the hat directly, just go to Athletes Thread. It's 100% licensed gear, goes back to support the athletes. Portion of this that we generate from the raffle goes back to the Tuscaloosa Soup Kitchen. I'm going there this coming Saturday to make another drop. Crimson Angel says, Breaking Bad, great show. Yeah, that was a great show. It's definitely one of the best. I mean, for me, it's The Sopranos. Breaking Bad is certainly up there. I love Mad Men. I know you guys are going to get pissed off, but I have not seen The Wire yet. People say that The Wire is better than Sopranos. I know. I want to get there at some point in time. Hey, Lee G, what's up, man? Good morning to you. Nick Bowling, good morning, man. Thanks for being here. And I never watched Better Call Saul. Let me get to one more thing, and then I'll come back. I'll come back and we'll round out with some Q&A, and then we'll show the hat one more time. All right, this photo was circulated around yesterday, and yesterday we talked about the defense, right? The defense was out in Las Vegas, Nevada, doing its thing, even with Geno Smith. All the quarterbacks were up there. Most of the wide receivers or whatever getting in some work. Hey, the Leo King, man, what's up? I see you inside the comment box. And Sean Lilly, I heard that, man. I heard that The Wire is better than Sopranos. So what we have here is the guys, this particular set, right, working out in Atlanta. I love me some Atlanta. Sammy, what's up, man? Appreciate the super. So you have Jordan Edmonds, right, and you have Dejoun Lee, right, working out with a DB coach, right? And I believe this is Cam Calhoun, okay? So Dejoun Lee, I don't know. So because I'm breaking down the top 25 Alabama player rankings, I'm going to continue that today. I have Dejoun Lee as my number 1 freshman in 2025, followed by Lazier, then by Keelan Russell, and then Lazier Brooks. Those are my top 3 freshmen. One of the things that I've really enjoyed about Dejoun Lee's game is his length. Kane Womack said he's a long-ass corner. Look at this man. So Jordan Edmonds, if you don't know, this is On3's interface. He's a 5-star that is committed to Alabama. You see what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the quality of the prospects that you have committed at this point in time. I don't care about the quality. I don't want 30 guys. I want a quantity of 5-star or guys that fit the exact system. So I get excited just thinking about Dejoun Lee and Jordan Edmonds. They have him at 6'2.5". He might be standing a little bit closer to the camera, but you have taller corners coming in. I still get upset that Trey Amos left to Ole Miss because I thought he was quality. I thought he had length. You think about the bigger corners at Alabama that they've had in the past, like a Pat Surtain. I can't. How are they going to keep this man off the field? I don't know. Because you have Xavier Brown and you have Damani Jackson coming back, and this man's here too. Cam Calhoun, he's had a good year as well, or a good spring. Hey, Justin Weaver, I got you, bro, in the raffle, bro. And Chad Kennedy ×3. And I got Sammy in as well, 2 times. But that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about the length and the height that is coming in on the defensive side of the ball in that secondary position. And you think to Alabama's secondary, I mean, what's not to like? Let me ask you this. Do you think how are they going to keep this guy off the field, Dejoun Lee? I'm serious. Hey, Ruben Poole, what's up, brother? Good to hear from you, man. Mark 317 describes Hubbard and Lawson. Oh man, I'm not at that point right now in my spiritual journey where I could wrap it off, but I'll look it up. And thanks for hitting us with the super. Keon Sabb, Bray Hubbard, Xavier Brown, Damani Jackson, I guess Deshaun Jones or Cam Calhoun or Red Morgan. It's like, take your pick. And then Dejoun Lee, right? You know who's not even here yet in the room is Chuck McDonald. I would imagine that Chuck McDonald probably gets here like in June or something like that. So, man, what a secondary, bro. That is wild. And this guy played aggressive, like super aggressive. And last year, God, it was scary going into the season because we didn't know what to expect in the secondary because all we had coming back was really Malachi Moore. And Devontae Smith had played a little bit, but he was banged up the year before. And look, I don't want to hate on Devontae Smith because I love that dude. He's a good dude. And he transferred to Notre Dame, but I don't know. And he played the Husky position, right, which is the extra corner on the field. I think you have better like Huskies this year than Devontae Smith. And I like Devontae Smith. I'm just saying I think Cam Calhoun, I guess Deshaun Jones is playing pretty well this year. And Red Morgan, to me, might be an underrated guy that we haven't talked enough about. So when you look to Dejoun Lee, Jordan Edmonds, that class of 2026, these guys absolutely put in work. Wade Burns chimes in with an interesting comment. I kind of feel like Kane Womack will rotate DBs a lot more week to week and have different impact players based on opposing team receivers, right? And I don't even know last year, I think eventually we got to a place in time where we felt a little bit more comfortable with our corners, but I don't know if you had the depth that you have this year, right? I mean, shoot, Xavier Brown started every single game last year as a true freshman. He might be the most, we haven't talked about him enough because you have Dejoun Lee who's been absolutely killing it, but I don't know if you have there's always competition, but I don't know if Dejoun Lee like becomes a starter. I mean, Xavier Brown's good. And he came up with some huge plays. Remember the interception that he had against Georgia? Now, as we said many different times, all of those corners got cooked at one point or another. We don't even talk about Zay Mincy. Zay Mincy's, I mean, he's right after Bray, right after Keon Sabb. Drake Kirkpatrick Jr. is back there. Ivan Taylor. You see what I'm saying? The secondary is, oh, man. I mean, we loved our wide receivers, but the secondary has some players as well. All right, I'll come back to the raffle screen for a little bit. We'll leave it on. If you have some questions inside the comment box, I'll leave it open for a little while, and then I think we should have enough to do the pinwheel. But post your comments if you have like a pressing question or if you have something that's on your mind, go ahead and dump it inside the comment box, and I'll feature it on the screen and I'll talk about it for a little bit. Also, if someone can give us an updated baseball score, I think it was 2-1 Bama. See what Crimson Angel has to say. These cats are better than Smith. We want players that want to play for the Crimson jersey. It's tough for them. He's talking about Devontae Smith. It's tough to see them leave. He left to Notre Dame. But we want guys to be committed and play for the Crimson Tide. And that was something else that Courtney Morgan said. He said, one of the things with the transfer portal is at the end of the day, you get guys who really want to be here, right? Who really want to be here. And we got a score update. Hey, thanks, Neil. It is 2-1 Bama. I think we might be close to the 6th inning. Wits, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Kaylin asked this question. Do you think Brooks is our punt returner for this upcoming season? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that Lazier Brooks gets on the field a lot. I don't know the exact rotation. It's just going to be really difficult to keep a player like that off the field. I would imagine that the punt returner this year is Jalen Mbakwe. I think Jalen Mbakwe, I know people think about a bobbled punt. You could bobble punts all the time. But he does, despite where he's at within the wide receivers room, he has a playmaking ability. And I think Alabama will be trying to get him on the field to kind of bridge the gap to next season. But let me ask you this, inside the comment box, who do you think that will return punts for Alabama? And Michael Coleman, what's up, Michael? Good to see you, bro. I'm kind of with you here. I think it might be I think it might be Cole or Jalen Mbakwe. Just like you said, Michael Coleman, 100%. A lot of people forget that Cole was doing this last year. But I will say this, and I know this gets a little bit controversial. I will say this. In big games, I'm putting Ryan Williams back there, period. At the end of the day, and look, those guys are capable to break one. Mbakwe can break one. Cole Adams can break one. But at the end of the day, you want your best player, your game breaker, to be returning punts and kicks. So, for example, we're in Athens, Georgia. Game's tied up 21-21. We're in the third quarter. It's late. Momentum. Need some momentum. You put Ryan Williams back there. It adds a spark. It's a special thing. Some people have it. He has it, clearly. I don't want Ryan Williams returning punts, against Louisiana Monroe, even against Wisconsin. I want him in like mega games or mega game situations. Who knows? Maybe that Wisconsin game's close. I have no idea. I'm just saying, like, when you need someone to turn it up, I put Ryan Williams back there, and I don't think twice. And look, if you play competitive sports and if you played sports in your life, anything, you know who the best player is on the team, and you shouldn't have no problem with that. If you played sports, you know who you play basketball. You know who could score. You know who you want the ball with 2 seconds left. You played football, same thing. Now golf's a different thing because golf's just on you. That's why I love golf. It's just you. All right, what else we got? What other comments we got? See, and Wade has my back. He's like, Kyle, I'm with you. I feel that returns are best way to get a couple guys and get, a player like Jalen Mbakwe onto the field. If you missed the SEC network all in, what I would do is just look for the SEC network schedule and see if there's going to be a replay of it. It's definitely worth watching. It was only 30 minutes, but it was good. They did a really good job with it. And I guess someone inside the comment box said it was produced by Alabama. That's why, and it made sense because it said the executive producers at the end. Kalen DeBoer was even one of them. I thought it was good. I thought it was really well done. All right. Oh, so here we go. Thank you, Dwight. The replay for SEC Network All In will be Friday at 8. So check your local listings Friday at 8 p.m. I don't think they're going to show it in the morning, so we'll say 8 p.m. Check your local listings. Thanks, Dwight. Kaylin in with a question. Says, do you think we do more tempo offense this season? Yeah, I would think so. I think this is a good question. I think so. I think coming into this season, tempo means up tempo to me. So I think like no huddle, hurry up. Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine being a defense and having to deal with a no-huddle offense of this caliber. Now, a lot depends on your offensive line, in my opinion, in that situation. Can these guys hold that standard? And I think so. I think in the past, sometimes Alabama's offensive line has been too heavy. But that's a really good question. And I think that comes down to your quarterback. Can your quarterback operate at that high of a level? Man, I hope out the gates that Ty Simpson just, and you know what? I really don't think that Ty Simpson has to do like so much. I think he just has to be consistent. I think he's capable to do so much, but he doesn't have to do it all. I think that was the difference last year. I think Milroe felt it was kind of like he had to do it all. And maybe he didn't, but like Ty Simpson doesn't have to do it all. He just has to do his job and get the ball to Ryan Williams, Isaiah Horton, Jordan Bernard, hand off to Jan Miller, get the ball to Josh Cuevas. Offensive line has to protect him so he can do that, but I don't think he has to do it all at all. Like, he's capable to get it done. Yeah, so if you guys missed the show on the SEC Network, don't trip. Like, it'll be Friday at 8 p.m. Check local listings. All right. We got Dan Carraway ×2, Robert Bradley, John Shannon, Justin Weaver, Chad Kennedy ×3, Sammy Dubs, Ruben Poole, and twice for the raffle. If you want to get in before we spin the wheel, now is a good time. Venmo, Bama_YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. $5 entry up to 3 tries. We'll spin the pinwheel, and we'll get on with it. But I appreciate you guys joining my Tuesday show. Please be safe. I think there could be some severe weather coming into this region today. So stay with North Alabama Storm Chase. Ryan Hall on YouTube is incredible. And, of course, the great James Spann. All right, Wits in with the super chat. Thank you for the content, Kyle. Some Bama talk keeps me sane while we wait for the season. I get it. Look, I got you in for the hat too. I get it. It's the summertime, right? But time passes and there's things that come up. I mean, luckily we cover a program that has enough pool and enough things going on like a very high level that we can get past May, June, July, right? It's tough, though, even for me as a content creator. And as I said openly yesterday, if you want to be a sponsor of the show, definitely would help me get by the summertime. I'd really appreciate it. You could email me. Same thing if you win a prize at nmpreps@gmail.com. So, and we can work together to tailor it to be like a sponsor of the show. Some segments can be sponsored by your company, for example. So reach out to me, and we could do something that works for you. All right, but I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to get the pinwheel organized, and I'll be right back, and then we'll spin it right here on Bama Football on YouTube. All right, so be right back in about 2 minutes. All right, we are back. All right. Hey, Jay Boogie, I appreciate it, man. I'll be looking for your email. Thank you so much. All right, you ready? All right, we got the pinwheel today on Tuesday, May 20th. All right. You guys ready? I love the pinwheel. Pause. You know what time it is. All right, fam. Welcome to Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for being a fan funder. Thank you so much for the super chats. And thank you for joining us today on the Pinwheel, brought to you by your business. Hit me up with the email. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Remember, a portion of this goes back to the Tuscaloosa Soup Kitchen here in beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I appreciate you guys being here. Yesterday, we talked about the Alabama Crimson Tide in the all-in feature, and I just have so much optimism for this team going into the season. Today, we are spinning for a hat courtesy of Athletes Thread. So if you want Athletes gear, you can go to Athletes Thread. You can go to Team Fanatics and get gear that is officially licensed. That obviously goes back to the players. In the pinwheel right here, portion of that goes back to the Tuscaloosa Soup Kitchen. All right, without further ado, let's spin this wheel. Again, if you win this pinwheel, right? This is a hat today. Email me at nmpreps@gmail. All right. These are some. Well, you have one heavy hitter in here. You have Chad. Alex Wilder is not in today. He's tough to beat. Yesterday. Oh, you know what, John? You won yesterday. So, and I didn't hear from you, John. I'm gonna put your name inside the comment box right now if you're in here. John Betts, you won yesterday, bro. Please email me. You won the gear yesterday. I didn't hear from you, man. So hit me up. All right. 3, 2, 1. We're just gonna spin it right now. 3, 2, 1. Wits edges out Chad Kennedy just by an inch. Wits, congratulations, man. You went up against Chad. Chad Kennedy is like the Alabama of football, man. It's tough to beat. But Wits, congratulations, bro. Hit me up to the email, nmpreps@gmail.com, man. Congratulations, bro. That was tough. You defeated the #1 seed. Hey, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Keep your heads on a swivel as we're back as breaking news happens. It's May. We're getting through it. I appreciate you guys being here. I love you. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on this fine Tuesday, May 20th. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football.